In the previous video, we were talking about how the nephrons are fitted into the kidney. And these nephrons are just structures made out of the Bowman's capsule and tubules. And what they are supposed to do is they are supposed to produce the urine. The formation of urine is quite complicated in reality. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to do a simple overview as to how urine is being produced. If you look at this diagram of the kidney, I told you that there is a blood vessel that goes into the kidney, represented by the red line, and there is a blood vessel that comes out of the kidney. Now, the names of those two blood vessels are called the renal artery and also the renal vein. And the renal artery, if I'm drawing it here as it's a different version, the renal artery will then go towards individual nephrons, and they will transport the blood through smaller branches of artery known as arterioles. Now, the first arteriole, as it is going towards the Bowman's capsule, that particular arteriole is called the afferent arteriole. It will go towards the mouth of the Bowman's capsule and form a kind of coiled-like structure. And then it comes out of the Bowman's capsule and it's called the efferent arteriole. And from the efferent arteriole, I'm drawing out these dotted lines. And normally those dotted lines represent blood capillaries. And those blood capillaries, if you notice, they are going around the nephron. They are surrounding the PCT loop of Henle. Also, it actually goes until the DCT, but I did not draw that out. And those blood capillaries will eventually converge and form a blood vessel that is carrying deoxygenated blood, and that is renal vein. Now, remember I told you, if you refer to this diagram, the renal artery has more urea, more salts, and more water. Conversely, the renal vein will have less urea, less water, and less salts. And how's that possible? Because the nephron is supposed to help filter and remove that excess urea, water, and salts. And the part where I'm highlighting in yellow, where it's the end of the collecting duct, that's where the urine is formed, and the urine contains excess water, urea, and salts. So this highly complicated nephron will actually be able to filter the blood and remove the excess urea, water, and salts from the renal artery, so that when the blood goes back to the renal vein, the blood has removed, the waste products. And by the way, that highly coiled structure is known as the glomerulus. We will be talking about the glomerulus in the next video. Don't worry about it. Okay, so this is just the overview of what's happening. Now, before we study the highly complicated urine formation process, I want to do a little bit of O-level revision. Now, if you've not done O-level biology or you did not study kidneys previously, it's okay. This just gives you an idea of what the nephron is supposed to do. So I'm just drawing out the nephron here. You can see the Bowman's capsule, PCT, loop of Henle, DCT, and collecting duct, not duck, okay? And you can also see the glomerulus, which is that highly coiled structure. Now, the glomerulus is a blood vessel, by the way, okay? It's a very specialized coiled blood vessel. Again, we will talk about that later. But what you have to know is the body deliberately creates a very high pressure in the glomerulus. So why does it create a very high pressure inside the glomerulus? So that substances inside the glomerulus, the blood, will be forced out into the Bowman's capsule. But it does not force everything out. It only forces things out like water, urea, salts, glucose, and amino acids. Alright? But as those substances, represented by the purple arrow, moves through the nephron, the tubules, some of the substances will be reabsorbed back into the blood capillaries. Examples will be glucose, amino acids, even some water, and also some salts. Okay, there will be some series of reabsorption. Whatever that is not reabsorbed will be at the end of the collecting duct. So whatever that was not reabsorbed will be the thing that forms the urine. So this is the simple overview of urine formation. So some students might think, oh, wow, this is quite easy. I'm like, no, this is O levels. So this is just a simple diagram to explain how urine is formed. The A level portion is going to be in the next video. Sometimes in the exam, they may actually give you a drawing of the Bowman's capsule and glomerulus, but sometimes you must be able to also identify the appearance of the glomerulus and Bowman's capsule under light microscope. As you can see in this diagram over here, the one on the right is the drawing, obviously, and the one on the left actually shows you the appearance of the Bowman's capsule and glomerulus under light microscope. So the whitish gaps are just the lumen of the Bowman's capsule, or the empty space where the filtrate or the liquid is supposed to leak through. And that red color area where I'm just outlining is actually known as the glomerulus, okay, that tightly coiled up space. So you must be able to identify these structures in the exam as well. I'm just going to show you another diagram here. As you can see here, you can see 3 Bowman's capsule and 3 glomeruli, which is the plural for glomerulus. And you can see the red color area, which I'm outlining. That's the glomeruli. And of course, the whitish gaps are the ones where I'm highlighting in yellow. Those are where the substances will leak into, and therefore that's the lumen of the Bowman's capsule. So you must also know that as well, by the way.